Hello YouTube, it's Mr. Tech Guy 1 here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install Windows 8 on your Mac. Now, Windows 8 is available for pretty much, well, all PCs, 32 and 64-bit, and it's currently in developer preview status, which means you can download it for free, and you can install it on your Mac or your PC. But we're going to be using a utility today called Boot Camp Assistant to allow us to install Windows on a Mac. This will also work with Windows 7. It's pretty much the same, except that you need to have a Windows 7 DVD rather than the ISO that you download for Windows 8. So what we're going to do first is we're going to open up our internet, and we're going to go to dev.windows.com. So if you just type that into your web browser, it will say download the Windows 8 developer preview. So you want to click get started. And obviously it says developer tools, so that's if you want to make Windows 8 applications, or for the most of us you'll probably just be fine with either 64-bit or 32-bit. If you have more than 4 gigs of RAM, you might want to download the 64-bit, but I've already got the 32-bit, which is fine. So once you have downloaded that ISO, you need to, if you've saved it in a location, what you're going to need to do, you're going to need to pop in a blank DVD. Now, if you have a MacBook Air or a 2011 Mac Mini, don't worry, you can save it to a USB drive. But I won't be showing you how to do that today. I'll just be burning it to a blank DVD. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Launchpad or Applications, and go to Utilities and go to Disk Utility. When Disk Utility pops up, you're going to select your super drive, click Burn, and burn the image to it. Pretty simple. So once it has been burned, what we're going to do next is we're going to actually get on to installing Windows. So again, go back into Launchpad, go to Utilities, and hit Boot Camp Assistant. Now it says Boot Camp Assistant helps install Microsoft Windows on an Intel-based Mac, blah blah blah. Before you install Windows, you may want to make a Time Machine backup. It's totally up to you, but I would definitely make one, as if something fails during the install, then Time Machine will save your computer completely. And also, if you're on a MacBook, make sure the MagSafe connector is plugged in, which I'm just doing now. Yep, just make sure it's plugged in. Because obviously you wouldn't want to lose power. So click continue, and it says install Windows 7. Now I know we're installing Windows 8, but just leave that ticked, and download the latest Windows support software from Apple. Now this is basically the trackpad drivers, keyboard, graphics card, all that stuff. So I would heavily recommend that you download that. I've already got it though, so I'm going to untick that. And obviously if you have a MacBook Air, then you can create a USB flash drive using that method, or that little box there. Click continue, and now you can select how much space you want to give Windows. So I'm going to give it about 55 gigabytes, and then hit install. And it's going to partition your disk, and it's going to restart the computer. Obviously I've got to pause my recording here, as it will stop the recording. So hit install and it should restart. Also another thing, most Macs come with at least 2 gigabytes of memory, but you need to make sure that you have at least 2 gigabytes of RAM to install Windows 8. So obviously if you click the Apple menu and about this Mac, you can see how much RAM you have. So I have 8 gigabytes, that's fine for me, but most Macs come with 2 gigabytes or more, but you just might want to check. Alright. Alright, so my Mac is just restarting, and you don't have to do anything. It will do it. It will restart and go into the Windows partition all by itself. Sorry if you can't see the screen that great, but so we're just going to wait for it to load Windows. Now the Windows installation doesn't really take. It didn't take that long the first time I did this. Took about 20 minutes to 25 minutes, something like that. Really not that long, but yeah, you might want to get yourself something while it's loading. So we'll just, if you get to this loading file screen, that means you've done everything alright, and you'll just want to wait for it to load up. Okay, so we finally got past the loading file screen, and that took like 5 minutes for it to just get past that, and then we will see the Windows Developer Preview come up. So I guess the boot up screen is a work in progress, but you know, it's a developer preview, so remember it can be buggy and all that sometimes. Okay, so language to install: English, time and currency, United Kingdom. Okay, click next and just click install now. And it will say setup is starting, and then what it will go to next is the disk management screen. So I accept the license terms, and next, and we're going to want to click custom because this is going to be a new copy of Windows. Now, if you just click on Boot Camp, it will say Windows cannot be installed to disk 0 partition 4, which is Boot Camp. Now the reason this is because it isn't formatted as NTFS, so we can do that right now. So if we click Format, or you can click Delete, or Format, doesn't really matter, and you're going to click New, Apply, we can click Next. And then it will copy all the files and basically install Windows. So I'll go and do something while this is copying, because it does take a good 20 minutes. Alright, I'll come back when it's fully done. Okay, so it restarted a couple of times after installation, but we get this nice little screen where we get to finish off like configuring everything. So give the PC a name. I'll just give it a name. Then next, I'll just use Express Settings, username, it's pretty self-explanatory really. You just type in all your settings and then it will finalize them and hopefully log you into your account. Yep. And it'll say preparing your PC. I'm preparing the desktop, probably. But the logon screen looks a lot more simplified than previous versions. They haven't really gone with the fancy. Well, this is a developer preview, so it could change, but it looks as if they've just gone for quite a basic logon screen. But yeah, So once we've installed this, what we're going to do is we're going to install all the Windows support software. So things like the trackpad and all the drivers will work as needed. So I'll do that. Right, so here is the start screen, and I'm not going to do a full review of it, but I'll just say that it looks a lot like Windows 8. No, Windows Phone 7, sorry. But what we're going to do first is if you downloaded the Windows support software to an external drive, you're just going to go to the desktop and go to that drive. So computer, and then you'll see a folder called Windows Support. Not sure whether you can see that, but there it says Windows Support. So click that, and then you'll want to click Setup. Now you'll have to right click, or application, because you can't right click yet. And we're going to have to click troubleshoot compatibility up here, because the installer, well, the setup software will only work with Windows 7. However, if you run it in a compatibility mode, it will think it was Windows 7 and it will install. If you don't do this, it will just throw up an error. So click troubleshoot program. I zoom in. I don't see my problem listed. If you tick that, what version of Windows did this work? Windows 7. And just click I don't see my problem listed again. And it says compatibility mode Windows 7 and run as administrator. So you're going to start the program, and it's going to install. And welcome to the Bootcamp installer. So next, I accept the terms. Yeah. So just Apple software update. Yeah, install that. And then when this is finished, you'll restart, and then it will be working as normal. So Apple keyboard installs. Well, while that's installing, I'll just quickly go through some of the things that are new. So obviously you have these tiles. So there's going to be a store, so like the Mac App Store, and there's Twitter and Facebook apps built in. We've got Near Me, which is quite a good little app. It's like it shows you like places to go around where near your computer and where near you. We've got like alarms. What's that? Flashcards. That's probably, I think that's ABC 1 2 3 for little children. And we've got various apps that Windows ships with the software. So, okay. And obviously we can connect to our Wi-Fi network. It's on the side. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back when this installer has finished. Right, so it will say you must restart your system for the configuration changes made to Bootcamp. So you basically got to restart, and also I'll tell you how to boot in between Windows or Mac. So because you've installed Windows, I think the startup disk will automatically go to Windows. But if you go to System Preferences in the Mac partition and go to Startup Disk, just select Macintosh HD if you want to boot directly to Mac by default. So it's going to restart, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold down the Option key, which is there next to the Command key, or Alt. You're just going to want to hold it down before it restarts, and before you hear that chime. To keep holding it down, and then we can see we have a little menu. So we've got Macintosh HD here, so that's the Mac partition. We've got Windows, and then we've got Recovery HD because I'm running Lion. Obviously if you want to boot into Mac, then you click that, but I'm just going to wait for these changes to take effect, and then press enter or double click. So that's basically it, guys. So that's basically how you install Windows on your Mac. Everything else, I guess, is up to you. Thanks for watching, and please rate, comment and subscribe, I guess. If you have any issues or comments, post a comment below, and I'll try and do my best to help. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.